first things first. Somebody's showering downstairs. You might hear that in the background. I waited because at first when you turn on the shower, when you're getting it warm before you turn it, wait, how do I explain this? When you turn it on, like the bath part of the shower, before turning on the shower overhead, like that makes a lot more noise. I was waiting and they were doing that for like a few minutes, and then finally now they're in the shower. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get started now. But yeah, I guess that's all I want to say. And then also, I'm going to be combing you with these combs. Aren't they so gorgeous? I got them on Etsy, and so I will be combing you with these. I don't have long nails at all right now, so I'm not really able to do too much there. But here's the other one. Which one do you prefer? Which style do you prefer? This kind or the longer, like flatter kind like this? And then which colors do you prefer? Sorry, actually let me remove autofocus so that you can see it better. Here is this one. And then let's go to this one. Isn't it so pretty? I don't plan on actually using these, although I imagine I'd be able to still use them fine. Let's turn back on autofocus lock. Okay. Alright. Yes, it works just fine, but I got these for the video to use on you to pamper you up. So let's just, without further ado, get into. Actually, let's make sure everything's working over here. Everything looking good. Okay. Let's get started. Let's get started with this one, okay? And I'm just gonna like chat with you throughout, but also have moments of silence. Also, I'm not gonna be doing word repetition, you know, like brush, brush, brush. I'm just gonna be combing you, or like comb, comb, comb. Let me think of how this would work, because here it would go like that. Okay, so I'll do it different, even if it doesn't look great, even if I'm going like this. It's like obviously that isn't really how it will logistically work, but you know what I'm saying. It's for the content. We will start with this though. Speaking of showers, do y'all? Well, actually, that's a different question. Okay, now there's two questions popping up into my head. Do you comb your hair right after you get out of the shower, or do you wait until it dries off? Do you air dry your hair, or do you use a towel, or do you kind of just do a mix of both, or it depends on how much time you have, or the time of year? Do you air dry in the summer, but then you don't do that in the winter because it's too cold and you don't want your hair to be really cold? My Vaseline is Vaselining. Vaselining. For me, with my hair longer, I would braid it after I get out of the shower. Before then, though, before I would start braiding it when it was still longer, I would mainly just I would just comb it. I would eat breakfast, and then after I ate breakfast, am I in frame enough? I think so. And then when I would, after I would eat breakfast, then I would comb my hair. And but then I started braiding my hair again, and so then I would braid my hair like right after the shower, and then I wouldn't take that ponytail out until the next day after breakfast, and I'd comb my hair, because then my hair tends to be very flat, so then it would help add volume to my hair, like waves, slight waves, not curls but waves. And I can't do much with my hair. I've said this before, but I can't even put my hair into a bun because it is so thin, it just like flops right out. Also, my hair is at a weird length, so like it gets caught on the scoop neck here. much, like, I don't use a hair dryer, and then also I feel like that wouldn't be good for my hair and scalp if I'm just like always using a towel to try and get it completely dry. But the reason I braid my hair after the shower is because then I don't have to worry about combing it. But then also because with doing that, like if hair is at least a little bit wet, then it helps to mold and shape the hair while it's in the braid so that it does get those waves or curls after you take out the ponytail. If you do it with dry hair, it's less likely that if you have it in for the day and then take out the braid the next day, it's less likely for there to be waves, or at least, prominent waves. That's been my experience on this planet Earth. That's the one thing I like about having long hair, is being able to put in braids. Other than that, I have a very unstable neck. I have joint instability because of my hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And so I got mesmerized by the comb. And so when my hair is longer, even though I have very light, thin hair, it adds weight, and then my hair, just having to mess with it, it just causes pain on my neck. Also, I am non-binary. Pronouns are she, they. And so I like having short hair, especially when I go like this. It makes me feel a lot more androgynous, which I really like. When I was younger, when I was really young, I had mainly short hair like this kind of length, even like a little bit shorter a lot of the time. But then I keep getting mesmerized by the comb. I'm so sorry. By the way, I don't own any combs like this for my hair. I use brushes. But I feel like these are more so for people with shorter hair, so I guess I do have shorter hair, so it would make sense. I see more so dudes, like guys, who have combs like this. I don't ever see women with combs like this, except for if they have short and or really thin hair, I feel like. But again, that doesn't mean it has to be the case. It doesn't have to be the case. That's just like in my experience, what I've mainly seen. But yeah, I've been trying not to comb my hair, and I can tell, like, my scalp and hair seem to at least be a little bit happier with me for not combing my hair after I shower. I comb my hair every morning either way, so usually I comb my hair in the morning, and then during the week I exercise. And then okay, wait, I was gonna jump ahead. No, I was just about to do it again. But usually I exercise and then I eat breakfast, and then I comb my hair. But if I shower in the morning, then I eat breakfast and then would usually comb my hair. But then now, do you hear the children? I hate it when they do that. No offense, it's cute, but like in this circumstance, like yesterday, the little girl was like bye, and it was at least 5 to 10 minutes, somewhere between there, long, that she kept saying that. It's like, I don't think your father's leaving yet, little girl. But so, and she's loud like that. So then when I'm trying to film, it's like, hey. It's cute otherwise, but when it's past at least the 5 minute mark, I'm like, okay, I don't think he's leaving it. And I'm just like, what are you doing? we have to switch to this comb. Okay. Also, okay, maybe not. Well, when I got them, I don't know if they're permanently like this, but a little bit slimy. So I just have to. I haven't used these yet, only for the video. So I wanted to beforehand, but I'm like, I don't want it to be slippery. But I will maybe clean these off after, like wipe them down or something, because they have like it's more like an oily, greasy feel, and it feels like it's not the comb specifically. I think it's just how it was packaged and transported with any like humidity or temperature changes. This is made with acetate, ACETATE. This looks like an E. It looks like an E. What was I just doing? I don't even remember. But I don't. Oh, and then I started growing my hair out longer when I was younger, so that I could. Oh, I don't need it. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just telling you, I cannot multitask. I'm trying to focus on this looking good on screen. I'm trying to think of what I'm supposed to say next. When words are like beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. And then let me know again which comb you like more, and then which one is better for the visuals. They're probably pretty much the same. This one is just a little bit smaller. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. I don't know. Is your hairstyle a lot different now than when you were younger? When you were younger, did you experiment a lot more with your hairstyle? I never did experiment. Also, nowadays I realize that part of the reason I don't ever like even go in for a haircut or do anything and just like let it grow out isn't just for donating, but also because those of you who are new around here, I have GERD, so I try not to like do it right to the mic. That's why I'm like, anyway, carry on. Carry on my wayward son. Oh, that's a good song. I've seen Kansas live before. That's like actually the best concert I've ever been to. I've seen Greta twice, Greta Van Fleet, but Kansas live, and they have the violin in every song. Oh, I'm just thinking about it right now. I remember crying during the concert. It was so beautiful, and it was outside. Just thinking about it. What was I trying to say though? Oh no, the child is. See, the father did not leave, or something. Cause do you hear the child? She's like goodbye, bye. She's either like goodbye, goodbye, or bye, bye. Okay, now he's left. What was I gonna say though? Oh yeah, Kansas and Greta. Greta's my favorite band, but Kansas live was so good, and I saw opening for them was Head East. But they got COVID right after, so I'm like, oh, they came to my area, my like state, and then they got sick with COVID and had to cancel upcoming parts of their tour stops. This looks like what people put in their hair, or like the clips. I've never been able to wear hair clips because I don't put my hair in like a bun, and I have thin hair, so it's like it would just attach to my scalp or something. Like it wouldn't work. Even the tiny clips, it just makes my big forehead stick out more. I should do that though, butterfly clips. I really want to do more of a nostalgia themed video. Have I done one? I don't even remember if I've done one recently. But there's like certain ideas I have in mind, but I'm like, it costs money for those things. And I feel like it's weird, the things like that I do, like other ASMR artists get a lot of views on those kinds except for when I started like growing it out more, but then I just would donate it, I would cut it off and then donate it and then just start from square one. From wherever I cut it off from, like around this size, it is now maybe a little bit shorter. And I would just let it grow out. I wish I could pull off a mullet, dude. Whoa, can you imagine me with a mullet? I have too thin of hair. I mean, there are people with thin hair who have mullets, but like, for me, I just don't think it would work out. I really one day want to have a pixie haircut. Oh, I was gonna say, I don't think I got to the point earlier. Typical Britney behavior. But I don't. I was gonna say, I'm serious. This is like distracting me. What was I gonna say? Bro. Oh, a mullet. I want a pixie haircut, but oh, okay. I never got really any haircuts growing up. I would go like 2 or 3 years without getting a new haircut just to donate, cut it off and donate 10+ inches of my hair when it got long enough. But part of the reason I know now is because getting a haircut costed money and it's not a necessity. And we grew up without having much money, so even when I lived on my own, it's like that was instilled in me. Like it's not a necessity. And haircuts, like a pixie haircut, for example, is a lot of upkeep. Like you gotta go in for many appointments just to, and so it's all that money adds up. Also, I think inadvertently, it's like self-care. When you grow up in a chaotic household, kind of becomes not a priority. So it's like, just do the bare minimum for self-care. And then don't worry about anything excess because you can't afford it. People don't realize like there are things that you can do for free, like deep belly breathing for self-care. But there's also things for self-care that cost a lot of money. Like for me, self-care would be managing my chronic illnesses with physical therapy, but for me that would be $250 minimum out of pocket each time. Actually, I don't even know what it would be now because that was when I had insurance. That was different. So I don't even know how it would be now. American healthcare system, I tell you. I think everybody should be able to have access to free and accessible and good healthcare. But unfortunately, that is just not the case for so many people. Mainly in places like America. You hear about like Americans traveling out of country and then they end up in the ER or urgent care and they barely have to pay anything or it's free as like a tourist in a different country. I'm like, that is bonkers, bananas, cuckoo. Okay. This part, what I'm gonna do. Oh, it sounds so nice. It almost sounds like a, what do you call it, a cricket outside, or oh, is that satisfying? I'm trying to think of what a good angle. Okay, that isn't what I was planning on doing. Again, nails aren't long. I can't really tap like this soon. Because these actually have tapped on them when I got them in. Not too long ago, but I also didn't trim my nails that long ago, but I like tapped on them and like was doing stuff. I'm like, yes, they're good for so many things. But I'm going to basically just comb using both, like simultaneously, as well as, you know, like this. of people like pampering ASMR. I like it not because it feels like I'm getting taken care of, but because like the visuals are just, I mean, nowadays when I watch pampering videos, there's like sometimes it happens where I like very lightly feel like, oh yeah, I'm being taken care of. I know a lot of people like pampering videos because it feels like they are being taken care of. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying for me, I don't get that. I like videos like this because they're very calming, and also usually the visuals are very prominent, and so I'm able to get tingles more easily from these kinds of videos where people are like up against the phone camera. I also like when people are doing stuff from like back here, but I know a lot of people aren't actually like that. I even got a comment not too long ago of somebody talking about commenting on a video I did where it's like, I wish there were more videos like this. ASMR creators just don't really make far away visual ASMR videos. And I'm like, you know, I agree. Although then here I am doing a lot of up close visuals. Also, I'm a lot slower today. Usually I would be all like, you know, but I feel like it's not so up close with these pampering videos. Usually it's not quick unless they state otherwise in the title. But yeah. Also, I typically don't like videos where the setup is like too much. I like cozy setups like this. I've gotten comments about these before, and by the way, I am not religious. You can be, whatever, you know. But I used to work at Hallmark when I was younger, so I got these on discount. So I would get these for my mom for holidays and for her birthday, like Mother's Day, all that. So now she just has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She has 8 of them up there. I think she maybe used to have more, maybe not, but she has 8. I think, yeah, just 8. And I don't remember what I was gonna say. Let's do some further away visuals. Just for a minute, if that's okay. Some people don't like the further away visuals, but I'm gonna do that, okay? Kind of matches with the microphone. Should I get a different phone case? A phone case. Mic cover. I'm telling y'all, I am so serious, especially since my concussion. I'm so bad at multitasking. Child is yelling. Child is yelling. mix of not only fast fashion, but just buying so many clothes. I don't need that many clothes. We're all bred to be such consumers and to cave into capitalism. I'm like, there's still so many clothes I could donate. But I have donated so many clothes over the past few years, like a lot. Try to, if you can donate, if you have clothes or anything else to donate, look into donating to women's shelters or something similar. Like I've donated once or twice to a local queer, it was on a college campus, a queer, for queer youth. Also maybe queer college students, but I think they were just hosting this like donation drive, clothing donation drive at the college. But I believe it was for queer youth, especially queer youth that were houseless, that are houseless or were. And people who especially didn't have much to pack when they had to like escape their circumstances. So I've donated clothes. The last time I donated clothes was for that kind of situation for that on campus. I try not to really buy as much anymore unless if it's something where it is a part of a collection, but even then I try to be a lot better with it. Like I get jealous sometimes of, or like have FOMO is a better way of putting it, because I was on my tarot channel and I see people who, like every time tarot readers on YouTube are doing, even TikTok, are doing a new spread, or new video, pick a card reading video, or a collective reading video, there's always new oracle and tarot cards that they are using. And so I'm like, oh, I wish I could be like that. So I have like a small collection, but I'm like, I don't want to always have to do that, because like the messages are still the same for the most part. Imagery in the cards does help with different meanings when you're interpreting the messages when you're pulling cards, but I don't want to be somebody, I want to be more minimalist. It's hard though, because I feel like having random knickknacks helps add to the ambiance of a place, but I don't want it to be overboard. It's like I never want to live in a mansion either, because that would just feel tone deaf to do that when there's so many people out there who don't even have shelter. So it makes me feel weird. I'm like, I don't want to have to need a lot. It makes me think of places in like, especially different Eastern countries, such as South Korea and Japan, where a lot of people, I have an ex who was from South Korea, and he's like, at minimum 99 to 95% of people live in apartments and or condos. Having a house, you have to be really, really rich. Even then, a lot of times it's not like super large homes or houses that you live in. That was just what he told me, so I don't know but I do know a lot of times it's hard, not even because people can't own it necessarily. Well, I think maybe purposefully, houses in places like Japan are maybe more expensive for some reason. I guess that's the case anywhere, but you know. But yeah, a lot of times you see people living in, because there's still people who like rent houses in America. I don't know how much of a thing that is in other parts of the world, or like in Japan, like I was just saying. But I think that let me know what you think of these visuals, by the way, if they're doing anything